Hey everybody, this is Jared here, coming to you with another video tutorial in the 12 Stone Church MainStage template video series. Today we're continuing to talk about the effects channels and the effects knobs and how we utilize those in our culture to better ourselves as keys players. In this video we're going to be talking about pad reverb and pad shimmer and how we can utilize these two effects to make our pads sound just that much better than if we were playing the straight sample by itself. So for this video, I'm going to be using the warm backing pad again. Again, it's one of my favorite pads. I think it's very warm, it's very rich, and it provides a great blanket for a worship setting. Here's the pad sample by itself with no effects. You can see very warm, very big, very rich. So let's talk about pad reverb for a moment. Reverb is something that every instrument, every front of house uses for multiple different things. Guitars may use it to make their drives or their guitars just very spacious. It allows this kind of essence, this vibe to them that just makes them sound big. It makes them sound very, very smooth. And the same thing applies to pads within a worship setting. You add reverb to a pad, it makes the pad sound bigger, it makes it sound more stereoed out, just provides a nice essence in the worship setting. So the pad reverb that we're going to apply to this one just adds a nice subtleness to it. A lot of the pads are already programmed with reverbs in, and this just kind of puts you over the edge. It gives you a nice little trail at the end so the pads don't die off too quickly. Very, very good reverb. Spent some time tweaking it. I really, really like this one. So let's see what happens when we add reverb to this pad. As you can hear as we play with the knob there, it really adds a nice little trail. It adds a subtle amount of reverb. It's not enough to make the pad sound washy or too spaced out, but it just puts it a little bit into that very atmospheric style pad. Very, very good tool to utilize. Normally I leave pad reverb on a bulk of the time. I just think it adds the nice touch to all the pads that we have. So I'm going to pull back this pad reverb and let's talk about pad shimmer for a second. So again, a lot of guitarists will utilize this. They'll have some type of verb that's actually a shimmer style. I guess the best way to describe it would almost be like a glittery sound. It's very shimmery. It adds this nice little chime effect to it. Very, very nice tool to utilize. I also use pad shimmer on a lot of the pads. I might bring it down, as we've talked about in the previous video. When we bring the synth cutoff down, I may bring the shimmer out just so it creates a more warm blanket and kind of pulls a little bit of the highs, because it can add some chimey in the high end, so it kind of pulls those out a little bit. So let's see what happens when we add the shimmer to this pad. As you can see, it added a very nice chimey high end to the pad, made it sound a little bit bigger, just a little bit brighter. I love adding shimmer to pads. I think it makes them sound outstanding. So let's see what happens when we combine both of these together. Let's just don't turn these all the way up here. Roll back the synth cutoff. As you can see, if we pull out the shimmer, it makes that pad sit just a little bit better. still leave that reverb on. It adds a nice trail. But the Shimmer just kind of pulls out the highs. We've cut them, but the Shimmer is adding that Shimmer frequency, and it just pulls them out just a little bit more. It makes the pad sit beneath that vocal just a little bit better. Again, two very, very useful tools. If you're familiar with MainStage and we send you this template and you want to throw some of your own reverbs in there to try to experiment, to come up with some different reverbs, by all means, please experiment. We don't want these to be the only two effects that you use. These are just two that we thought fit the culture very well, and we've going to go ahead and assign these to the template we send out to the campuses. But as you've heard in some of our other videos, if you don't have a copy of MainStage and you do have a Mac, please let your worship pastor know. We want to get you a copy of that as a way to say thank you for serving our church. We can send you this template. We can send you some samples to let you be practicing with, just to get familiar with the program, and just to kind of play around and get an idea of what MainStage is and how you can come up with some ideas to give to us that we might say, hey, that sounds great. Let's use that on some of our songs. So, as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, jaredjclark@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with your campus worship pastor. He'll put you into touch with either Russell or myself, and we can answer any questions that you may have. Thanks for checking out this video, and please stay tuned for some other great content.